All right, y'all. So usually the first thing, you know, you hear is like, you trying to put on size as a tall guy, you're not eating enough, bro. You gotta eat more. You gotta start grabbing like as much, start fucking feeding all this shit, bro. Like, you a variety of shit, bro. Like, alright. Nah, fuck that shit, bro. Like, cause I've been wanting to make the video, like a video actually like talking to y'all about how to put on size as a tall guy. And it's such a hard video to actually like really dissect or like actually like create points for, because it's like at the end of the day, you still put on muscle the same, bro. There's no like, there's like, yeah, tips in here like that, but it's inclusive, bro. And like, I was actually at Corrupted Strength literally last weekend as a fucking bodybuilder, bro. I didn't even know what I was doing. I saw my boy Jamal.
Baby girl, you know.
Motherfucker, like, we could just casually fucking deadlift like 1,000 pounds, bro. I was talking to bro and we were just talking for a little bit, and he was saying how he never used smelling salts. And he said that he never used smelling salts because it was a variable that he couldn't control. And I've like heard that shit like from a lot of fucking powerlifters in the past about like variables and things like that, but how you progressively overload is essentially like having variables you can control. One with being like your actual diet, like what you're like intaking, for example. Me personally, before I go to the gym, I know if I need to have like roughly 1,500 calories before I can actually lift and like actually be able to force myself to like push myself in the gym. And that's a controllable variable. Pre-workout, not so much a fucking controllable variable, especially if you're like abusing caffeine like your boy. But if you use nitric, Gorilla Nitric, right? A non-stimulant, and you depend on that as opposed to actual stimulants, it's gonna help a little more because you can control that, because that's not necessarily actually like dictating your performance outcome. It's just dictating like actually like the pump. Oh, your training program, bro. Leading into your training program, right? So basically, if you hitting push-pull legs, you hitting the same exercises, bro? Because we just pulled up at the gym. I know it looks like we in a food court right now, but we in the fucking gym, bro. We're about to get this shit started. But like your fucking training program, right? You follow the same training program to where you can actually see you progressive overload on different movements and things like that. That's a controllable variable to where it's like you can see that progression every time you step into the gym, bro. Stop fucking around, like the video, and get into the fucking lift, bro. Let me know who are better, the sick cunt or the fucking videographer, bro. Bro, I look like your fucking dad.
Bro, look, I got the layers. I got the layers. Jacob doesn't have the layers. He just has. Oh!
Subscribe. Alright, y'all. So, obviously I'm still following bodybuilding protocol, especially in terms of my accessories and everything. But right now, even if we're talking about control variables, I'm still hitting a fucking, like relatively, I'm gonna hit a heavy single. Probably 335 is probably what I'm gonna end up hitting or whatever the fuck. But that's something like always, like I know how that should feel. Even 315, we're about to fucking bust out 315, and that's something controlled. There's nothing like, no fucking smelly stalls, no like musty ass, like no musty fucking Ryland's ass. I'm a power lifter. easy, bro. Hey, yo, PR video next. After this video, bro, subscribe so we hit a PR next video, bro. I'm a man of my word, bro. If I hit a PR next video, bro, you use code RED, bro, and give me some free head. I don't really need the free head. Rylan needs the free head, bro. Give Rylan free head, bro. Use code RED for me, for my pockets, and Rylan for the head, bro.
What's up, Bog?
The rep was like already up, but then, bro, I heard one person scream like, "You got it!" And I was like, man, like I have like the off-brand fucking skull crushers. I need to get the skull candies that like everybody has, bro, so I can like not hear a single word, bro. This targets like all of this shit. Like, you know how they do the swipe workouts? No, bro. On a serious note too, like as much as like being like controlled, like essentially based off of your type of training, if you're training like powerlifting, I know per se, like when you're doing RPE sets and things like that, but especially with accessories, like it's controllable in the sense of like how many reps you can get, but it's like, bro, every day is not going to be consistent, but it's at least having that, especially when you're following the program. Right now I'm doing rope pull downs. I'm doing 65, scratch that. Alright, so now we're doing 72, but that's around my normal range for like 15 reps. Like I know like I can get 15 reps, but I'm gonna try to push for more of that. If I can't, obviously it's just an indicator, right? You can have all these variables, especially when you're natural, but like all the variables, there's gonna be days where you're not as strong as like, per se, like you hit 315 on bench like one day. And some days, bro, me hitting 315, when I first was able to hit it, it was still inconsistent as hell. And there's like certain variables that I can like do as like far as like making sure I'm like eating prior to the gym, my 1500 calories, I'm going at the same time, I'm hydrated. My sleep schedule is another controllable factor, but once you like start realizing all these different factors that you can have control over, it's a lot more easier to have control over like, yeah, I can hit 315 like on a gradual, like consistent day basis. Now finishing off with our some side lateral raises. You know, I like to do that, so it's like I can catfish on Instagram a little bit without having to use CapCut or any like Photoshop, just so my like delts look massive. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, we do that now. Next thing that y'all can control, bro, and I was realizing as I was like pushing down to get like a little more woof of my fucking body odor, is wearing the same shirt all week so you know if you can get in bigger, bro. So like my shirt right now is a little tight right now, but it's because I'm getting bigger, bro. I've had this shit since like middle school or something, bro. Bro, I'm 240. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. Yitty gang. Yo, what is good, Yitty gang?